Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brenda Mahlobo. Welcome back to my channel. It is so good that you clicked on this video. Thank you so much. And if you just happen that you were scrolling videos about job platforms where you can frequent and you're not part of our family, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. It is absolutely free anyway. You're not going to pay any subscription fee whatsoever. So thank you so much once again to those who recently joined my channel. I know I haven't been posting much. School in capital letters, academics if you want to call it that. So today I basically want to have a chat with the job seekers and just tell you guys briefly, I don't have a lot of things to say, briefly where I search for vacancies. And I know that you guys are quite familiar, or some of you may know quite a lot of sites. I'm not up here to mention every site possible that advertises jobs, no, but I just want to open your eyes like on a few sites that you guys have been slipping on, and I show you you've been slipping on the sites. Okay, just to begin with, if you're looking for a job in the public service, the #1 site that you should frequent on the internet is under the DPSA, where they advertise jobs in the public service. Now, I've heard in the past, and I want to clarify that, I've heard in the past that people think the DPSA only caters for people within the public service who are looking for better opportunities, and that is not true. Any job seeker out there can benefit from the vacancies that are advertised on the DPSA website. So please do not hold back. Please do apply. We've had a conversation on this platform where I was letting you know, or rather advising you, that the mentality of thinking people already have their people that they want in those jobs, especially jobs in the public service. We don't do that over here. We'll try every opportunity that is put out there. We're going to try our level best. We're going to prepare ourselves. We're going to prepare our documents, and we're going to be ready for the interview. So that mentality does not apply on this platform. So if you think government jobs belong to certain people and therefore you're not going to try your chance, sorry, you don't belong here. I do, however, know that there may be instances where that is applicable to speak like an actual fact, but it does not derail you or even stop you from applying for that job. They may have a particular person in mind, but it does not stop you from going in that interview and making sure that you leave no stones unturned, and then you end up getting the job. I've heard of so many instances where they have people in mind before the actual interviews, and then the interview day comes, a lot of candidates go there prepared and whatnot, and then the person that they were talking about in corridors end up not getting the job. So we're not going to do that here. DPSA #1, every Friday, or rather every week, they do post new vacancies. Let me also caution you, if you are somebody who's looking for a better opportunity, you already have a job and you frequent the sites, I'm sorry to say this to you, but you will need to be more frequent, because at times you apply for a job and then nothing happens. You goes like 1 month, 2nd month, 3rd, the 4th, you're not hearing anything about it. No shortlisting, no interview whatsoever. You don't even follow up to check if they've received your application or not. But the downside to it with mostly government jobs, is that they do get re-advertised. So you may be sitting hopeful thinking, hey, I applied for that director post, got economic development, and I know my documents were correct. I know I have experience. I am qualified in terms of like qualification from the varsity, only to find that you're not getting called. #1, because there was nothing wrong with your documents or even with your CV. That particular post that you were applying for got re-advertised, and unfortunately you were not back in the site to be able to monitor that. I know it can be quite tedious to frequently go back to the DPSA. I think like monthly, twice a month is even better, so that you just keep tabs with the jobs that you apply for, just to see, because a lot happens in between the HR receiving the applications, the sifting, the shortlisting, and another politics that may come into play in that particular post. And then you find that they get to re-advertise it for so many reasons that I don't want to get into right now. So please do frequent the department that you have applied a job from, so that you're on the safe side. So, and then we're moving right along. I have also noticed that a lot of people sleep on the institutions of higher learning, your universities. I assure you, for the past month or so, I've been part of, not part of per se, but I've been on the sites, the career sites for University of Pretoria. It's just called Up Careers. And then I've also been on the site from the Stellenbosch University. And I feel like there are a lot of jobs, not necessarily academic jobs, like support jobs that that are good paying, that get posted and advertised there. And I don't think you job seekers are opening your mind towards infiltrating that space of like higher learning. As I mentioned, not only academic jobs, you do not necessarily need to be a lecturer in order for you to work at a university of whatever. I'm just mentioning a few. I've also seen posts from the University of Northwest. I am pretty sure I've seen posts as well from the Durban University of Technology. I've seen posts from Mangosuthu as well. I've seen posts from KZN. So I currently have a job and I'm looking for a better opportunity. Some of these posts that I see on the sites are either on my level or the contract based, but not all the time. And then you do obviously get your academic based vacancies where they're looking for lecturers for different spheres in that particular university. But I want you to stop this video and go on the net right now and search the name of the university that you can think of. UJ, Verts. Just look and see if they're not going to advertise anything there. Another thing with these higher institutions of learning is that it's not a matter of you just sending your CV or emailing your CV. They usually have sites that are just allocated for job seekers where you can go and fill out your details. You basically are creating a second resume there because you get asked about your job experience, you get asked about your qualifications, you get asked about your references. And what I've noticed with the UP is that most of the time in their requirements, they mention that they want under requirements. Yeah, you're not hearing me incorrectly. Under requirements that mention that they want the name of 3 contactable references. So that's when your CV and your networks are going to come in handy in case you are somebody who does not have any job experience whatsoever. That's where like your mentors, your university lecturers, at times people who come straight from varsity tend to have their university lecturers under references. And it is also important, oh, I thought my son was crying. It is also important that you notify the people that you have on your references. You need to notify them. They need to know that at any time they may be called. Because at times, like, institutions and companies are not the same. Some companies would actually start, my son is distracting me. I feel like my son is crying outside. But the more I listen, no, he's not. I think he's just screaming and playing. They sometimes call your references first before you get called for the interviews. So it is quite important that you notify your references and just let them know that, hey, you're on my CV, I put you up as a reference, just in case you get called, because, you know, at that time you might just let them know without, you know, having applied for a particular job, and rather prepare them. And also, you need to be very smart, very careful on who you put up on your CV. Very important. I wish I can just write it in capital. Very important. Nobody says, if I'm your direct supervisor at work, nobody says, as my subordinates, you are compelled or you are forced to have me up as a reference. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. You know your situation. If you don't want to put like your direct line of manager up there, under your references, so be it. Please be very careful on who you put up there. As I mentioned, they might be called first before you get called for the interview, because I think it can be easier. If you get called for the interview, you go there and you sort of like gauge yourself, you know, how well you did, or sort of like, you know, you can be hopeful after an interview, or be like, I don't know the other candidates, like how much they answered, but what I have given, I think I'm quite confident that it can get me somewhere. Then it's often easier to then let your references know that you have put them up. Okay, moving right along, there are private and recruitment agencies. By recruitment agencies, not recruitment agencies, recruitment sites rather. Because when I say recruitment agencies, I make it seem like they're going to have a share when you do get appointed for that job. No, that's not what I mean. So there's basically your Careers 24, there's your Peanuts on the internet, there's your Indeed. There are recruitment sites for possibly any job. If you're looking for a job outside the country, you can search, go in the net, jobs for South Africans in Europe, and be specific about the country if you want. You know, the internet algorithm is the same as, I think, the YouTube and the whatever. If you are somebody who constantly checks home reviews or car reviews on your YouTube, and then as soon as you log onto YouTube, like on any different day, even though you're not going to go back to the search engine, you're going to be recommended a lot of channels that covers car reviews. So the same way with the internet, if you are somebody who's on the net constantly searching jobs, like job vacancies in the private sector, in the public sector, etc., you are going to get recommendations. As soon as you open your internet browser, you're going to get all these recommendations about certain jobs that are available. So I have a site that I'm also frequenting right now. I've registered and applied and inserted my CV and whatever. It's called the Peanut. Yeah, if you do want to check it out, please do check it out. I have noticed, though, even before just like me getting an opportunity through that site, it hasn't been like long, I think a month and a week now, if not a month exactly, since I've been frequenting. Obviously, for me, things are going to be different. I'm not going to go for any job out there. I'm going to go for a job that is going to be above my pay grade, a job that is going to offer me, I'm very particular with what I want right now. Just I want something that I went to varsity to study for. So I don't have a testimony where I can come up here and say I have gotten a job through that, because mainly they are like contract jobs, some jobs like pay less than what I get now. So I'm even at the stage where I'm considering going back to the private sector, but that is going to be a different ball game. I know you might be sitting there and thinking, she's mad. No, I'm not. I'm just hungry. I'm not hungry in a sense of like the actual hungry for food or hungry. I'm just hungry for an opportunity that is going to be able to capitalize or even explore all of my traits right now and my capabilities. So that's the hunger that I'm trying to refer to. So I'm just saying, it's either paying less than I get. If I'm going to go or consider a job in the private sector, number one, it needs to pay me more. I need to have like medical aid subsidy there, and I need, not so much about housing, but pension fund or whatever it's called, and then medical aid, and then like a huge amount of money. And obviously I am going to still look for a security, even though I'm considering even a private sector. So please, first time employment seekers, definitely go check that site out. There are many more out there. I might not necessarily cover all of them, but as I'm saying, there are sites out there. There was a site back in the days, I don't know if you've known of NGO Pass. There used to be NGO Pass that used to be like a platform where all the NGO jobs get advertised. I don't know what happened to it. I swear to God, I've been searching and searching NGO Pass, nothing is coming up. If you do know what happened to the NGO Pass and you just happen to come to my space, please do let me know, because I'm wondering what happened to the NGO Pass. Now there's like no platform that is just allocated for people who want to advertise jobs in the NGO sector. There's absolutely no site right now. While I am moving towards the end of this video, I also want to bring to you another neglected employer. I'm going to say employer. Do not sleep on your embassies, like your consulate. Do not sleep. Do not sleep. If you do that, you are doing yourself a despicable service. There is the US Embassy that is based in South Africa. I assure you, almost every second week, they advertise jobs. They advertise jobs for US citizens who are based in South Africa. They advertise jobs for like South Africans. There is quite a large scale and a number of jobs that get advertised on that site. Also, I've been new on that as well, but what I've seen, I think every second week, if not every week, but it's not something that is like, you know, unlike the NGO and unlike the DPSA that clearly stipulates that every week there's going to be a new circular. Unlike that with them, but I've noticed like over the past weeks that almost every second week, if not every week, if they do not advertise in that particular week, but rest assured, if you go through their sites, there are jobs that they advertised the previous week that, you know, they still recruiting for, that you can check out. Please stop this video again and go on your Facebook, go on your Instagram, and just check US Embassy in SA. Or like your normal browser, the internet, Google, go and just type US Embassy in SA. You will be surprised. You will be shocked. I also want to caution you that with the US Embassy, they're using a system called ERA, E-R-A. But as soon as you click on the link where they advertise jobs, I'm also going to put a picture over here of like their poster that they put up if they're advertising jobs, so that you can get familiar with it. But if you have a Facebook account, please go and search on Facebook. I think they're more efficient there, even though you can find them through any social network, but Facebook, please to go there. So this ERA system as well, it's like a system from Japan that they have been contracted for them and they're using. So it's the same thing again. You get asked questions about your eligibility. Are you eligible? Different kinds of jobs. What I've noticed with them as well is either they like they've got quite a huge spectrum of jobs. I'm telling you, they're looking for specialists, people in the medical industry, looking for people who can work in offices, people I remember this time there was like a post about alumni coordinator. There was a post about travel arranger. They vary. So please do go check that site. So the ERA system, the ERA sites basically ask you like your questions about job experience, this and that. You also need to be careful that, okay, let's see if I'm going to be able to retrieve something, because this is going to make more sense if I tell you exactly what you might find, you know, as I'm browsing through. Let's just see. So I'm on my Facebook, on my search engine, US Embassy, and then here I'm inside, and then they last posted job opportunities on the 10th of March rather, sorry. So this is usually, I'm also going to also insert, this is usually the poster they have up. But you're going to see it clearly if you go on the sides. So just to go through a few of, they're looking for visa assistant, they're looking for an IT help desk technician, they're looking for an administrative assistant. You see what they're saying? This one is a temporal one. They're looking for a switchboard operator. So but you do follow this link. As soon as you get to the link, you are still going to see all those jobs that I just mentioned, but in more detail. So they mention who can apply. when you look at the job, they usually specify, like in brackets, all interested candidates or all interested person or whatever. That is very important, because I don't want you making a mistake going through that error site till the very last page or last stage where you get asked about documents that you don't know of, because there are jobs that are only open. Let me open this. That are only open to people who've worked in missions, US mission in South Africa, this and that. This is the site. So I don't want you to go all the way, because what I've noticed about error that I do not like, what I've noticed is that, say today I apply for an IT technician job, and then the next week they advertise office coordinator job, and then when I go apply for office coordinator job, it does not keep or save all my details. Every time I go apply for a job, I need to go back to step 1, which sucks, because I think they have like 8 stages, if I'm not mistaken. I think they have like up to 8 stages. But wouldn't you want a system that is going to save your documents? Let me rather work on the last page of my application, where I probably need to change a few things or tweak a few things, because I constantly believe my resume is going to be the same in everything that I apply for. And bearing in mind that people are saying you must edit your CV to suit the job requirements, I'm not a firm believer of that. Come for me all you want, I don't believe in that. The only time I need to do or update my CV is like every year. If I said that currently I have 4 years working in the public service, I'm coming, baby. Then next year I can go and change. I'll be on my 5th year working in the public service, but my duties on my CV remain the same. What do you mean that I need to change my CV to meet the needs or the requirements of the post? Like, I don't understand, because I need to be honest. If I apply for this job, because there are jobs that have like that covers or accommodates like a larger spectrum of responsibilities. But I'm not going to lie. Trust me, I'm not going to go on my CV and lie and say under my duties I do 1, 2, 3, and 4 when I don't. So coming outside, what I'm saying about this error system is that I'd really wish, like any other system, I think the app careers, you are able to just save all of your work under like references, job experience, academics, etc. You are able to save all of that. So you see, I'm on the site right now, and the first job, it's saying warehouse driver, and then the important part, you're not going to see this, the important part says all interested applicants. Then that is for you, definitely for you. And another way you can pick up a job that can accommodate or that allows applications from South Africans is to look at the salary. If the salary is in ZAR, that job you can apply for. If the salary is in dollars, that can only that accommodates people from the US who work in South Africa. So you see, this one closes on the 7th of April. So if you know of any drivers, here's a post. It closes on the 7th of April, and the salary is 180,274 per year in ZAR. So definitely need. Please refer somebody. If you know of any driver who's looking for a job, definitely refer them to this vacancy. So I'm moving right along. To close this video, I also want to highlight something very important. Now I'm going to the DPSA, because what I want to highlight, I am hoping it is going to pop up in the DPSA. I want to caution job seekers with the notes that are posted like under different jobs, you know. So it's like how we behave ourselves on social media, on different spaces is very important. It's very important because if you apply for a job, what is going on here? If you apply for a job anywhere, basically, not necessarily in the public service, you are going to get vetted. They're going to go through your documents. They're going to check if your documents are in order, is your qualification valid, this and that, NQF level of your qualification. I don't know. Oh, click here. Entry level, not entry level. Yeah, NQF level for your application. They are going to scrutinize everything and they will not end there. This thing wants to download and I don't have enough space. They're not going to end there. They are also perfect. So I just want to read a few things. This is on DPSA and Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. The closing date is the 11th of April. I just want to read something here that caught my attention and I thought it's worth discussing. So it says, it's just like a paragraph towards the end. It says, the department reserves the right not to fill a position. Shortlisted candidates will be required to be available for assessments and interviews at a date, time. As a date and time determined by the department. Okay, fine. All shortlisted candidates will be subjected to personal suitability checks. Okay, the conduct reference checks, which may include social media profiles of the shortlisted candidates. Applicants must declare any pending criminal, disciplinary, or any other allegations or investigations against them. Should this be uncovered during or after the interview took place, the application will not be considered. And in the unlikely, the successful candidate will be appointed subject. And in the unlikely event that the person has been appointed, such appointment will be terminated. So this is if you do not declare of any criminal cases against you, any investigations against you, even if you have been given a job opportunity, offered a job basically, it can be terminated if you did not disclose. Very important. The successful candidates will be required to enter into an employment contract and sign a performance agreement with the department, etc. But where I am is that social media profiles of shortlisted candidates will be checked. I don't know if I need to say an amen there or just preach a little bit. Guys, we all young, especially us females. I'm going to address the gents as well. We all young, we're fresh, we've got nice bodies, we've got ass, this and that. But really, if you are a job seeker and your Instagram account is full of bums, who's going to hire you? Because that says a lot about who you are. And I'm not taking this out of context. I may understand you going on holiday, like you go to Maldives, you go to Zanzibar, like once a year or twice a year, and then I see bums there, you taking pictures at the pool or this and that. But constantly you have bums on your social media. Come on, who's gonna hire you? Because trust me, We are liberated, we women, we young, with this, with that. Living in a liberated country, this and that, freedom of speech, freedom of whatever, this and that. But what type of character or are you trying to display on social media? You're looking for a job in the public service, you're looking for a job in a reputable company, and yes, you're out here with your bums out almost every week on social media. I don't know. I don't. I also have bums, by the way, and I think they're nice, they're fine. Everything you put up there has a ripple effect. I'm not saying this the bad way. I'm not trying to judge women for how women decide to dress. I wear short things as well. Context is everything. I'm coming, baby. Like, what picture are you trying to portray? You're going to be appealing for brands that advertise swimwear, obviously. But if you're looking for an office, more like a conventional type of job, and you're up on social media every week with your bums out, come on. You up there smoking hubbly on social media? Come on. You're looking for it. You know, at times you find people writing on their social media accounts that their views on this page do not reflect the views of my employer. Don't think those people are too serious or they're taking it too far. It's the truth. I work for the Department of Community Safety and Liaison. And as much as I'd like to believe I'm a different person at work and then outside of work, I become different. But there are people who know me as Lento Mazane Community Safety. Whatever I do on the streets, one way or the other, is going to reflect on where I work. Coming back to embassies and all institutions, if you are somebody who very loud on social media, come on. I remember, I just want to share this example shortly. I remember when I first noticed the US Embassy and the jobs that they advertised there. I was like, oh my God, I saw this job that I wanted to apply for, but I didn't click like further to follow through with the error system. And then like I decided to do that last minute only to find there were a lot of steps. And then I just realized I'm not going to be able to meet the deadline. Like filling up all this information is quite a lot. You put up your languages. Just think of the Z83 form, but in an electronic type of version. You know, there's quite a lot that you fill up there, and obviously you want to create an impression. You're not going to just be like type through and you're done. You need to, you know, fill in substantial information there. So I'm thinking, I remember seeing that and I'm like, oh my God, let me go back to my child, because I remember there was a time, I've always been like politically, whatever the word. So there was a time during the assassination of General Qasem Soleimani. My mouth on social media was big there. Like I was just big. I was going US. You know, asking quite a lot of things. And I had to scroll. I had to scroll and go back and see. Because now I'm looking for employment in the very same country that I judged for killing Soleimani. It is the information that is out there. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I needed to go and see, like, what sort of things did I mention? I had to be diplomatic with the things that I mentioned. But I'm very big on comparing countries, the country that is considered the richest, the biggest in this and this. And I'd often open my mouth about European countries wanting to have their hand in African countries. They're wanting to have their feet in their resources, this and that, you know. So I had to go back, because now I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm looking for a job in the US Embassy. Let me just scroll through my profile and see, like, how did I mention certain things? Yes, I'm out here on this platform putting it out there that I am somebody who would engage in political debates or just put up like something. Nobody can take that away from me, but it's how I say it. I never went on my social media and said, I hate the United States. US is, no. I mentioned what I mentioned, and the fact that I was not happy when General Qasem Soleimani was killed. May his soul rest in peace. So the how as well. I'm just citing this example because I'm trying to open your eyes. If you are looking for your first job, you're younger, you probably are not noticing certain things that you need to be careful of. Be very, very cognizant of the things you put up on your social media. We go to your Facebook account, stalking you, we're seeing porn. Come on. Come on, there are settings. You need to go through your settings. Certain things should not appear on your wall. It should not. And there are memories now. You're taking back memory lane where you get to see, because you're definitely a different person from the person you were 6 years ago. You get to see what you put up 6 years ago. Some of us were typing like in this, oh, that's where it was just like THC. I'm not sure I did that. But there's a language that we used to type, like for look. I'm trying to come up with an example for look or whatever. But we wrote in a certain way that does not reflect nicely on the person that you are now. I type in full sentences. I no longer type that a certain way or look as L-U-K. I'm no longer that person. And I need, in as much as that's my personal life and me on my personal capacity, typing on social media and saying whatever, but I need to type properly. Because now I am the brand. If you consider yourself as a brand, baby, I'm coming to something like that. If you consider yourself as a brand, you need to be cognizant of all the aspects that surrounds you as a brand. If you treat yourself as a brand, you know what I mean? So we go through your profile, we're seeing porn. Yes, you were tagged, but are you not familiar with settings? Please do go check your settings, change your settings. If there's one thing I'm guilty of, football, my mouth is so big. But in as much as my mouth is big, you'd never hear me swearing on social media. I don't write swear words. Yes, I talk ill against Chelsea. Yes, I talk ill against Liverpool. But my illness is not in a sense that it's going to discredit me. No, it's just a fun way of just saying loser pool instead of Liverpool. You know, I'm just throwing out those examples, not because they matter, but something that I'm trying to illustrate with these examples is coming to light. And let me wish you well on your job seeking stages, and I hope you find the job that you desire, the job that you're looking for. You could be looking for something to keep your lights on, anything. Let me wish you well, and please do get interactive. If there's anything you want to say, you want to comment about, you want to magnify something that I've already said, you want to clarify or whatever, please do feel free. And if you watch this video and you're not part of my subscribers and you leave out of this video without subscribing, really? Isibindo naso. Usulalela yonke le content engaka. Usihamba uya ku Facebook, you're scrolling US Embassy, this and that. You go into your university, you're scrolling support jobs, academic jobs, and you're not subscribing. May the Lord thunder a thunder. I'm joking. Thank you so much. This is it from me,